Hello, JoeHart here, person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I'm streaming the Formula One's Free Practice 2 at Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne, Australia has a time change this weekend at 2 in the morning on Sunday morning. So for Friday and Saturday-ish, there's a 15-hour delay. 15-hour time difference. And then on Sunday, it's an hour difference. I just don't know if it's 14 or 16. But anyway, I know what time everything is. I just don't know if it went. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's the majority of things are 15-hour. So let me see. Let's see what we got here. I have to figure out like Mud. Hey Joe, how's it going? Pretty good, Mud. How are you? We're covering the Free Practice 2 of doing well. Well, good to hear, man. I'm still learning about Twitch. I'm not. I'm streaming. I'm streaming on my laptop on StreamYard, and with the plan I've got in StreamYard right now, I might have to downgrade. But right now, I can stream to 8 platforms or destinations, and so one of them is Twitch. But I'm just learning about. Anyway, I'm not a youngin' and I'm not a gamer, so I don't know much about StreamYard, about Twitch. But it's good to see you. Do you like Formula One? So, but thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Some of my Nightbots will. Once it starts to get going, there'll be a lot more Nightbots. So, but anyway, they say things. So this Nightbot, yeah, I watch F1 sometimes. Cool. Well, cool. It's the Free Practice 2 is coming up shortly. I should probably get my thing going here. Let me see here. So let me. I mean, obviously, we can't show any broadcasting. So it's kind of like it's a watch along. I hopefully everybody else has. I mean, if they care about the motorsports, hopefully everybody else has a TV or a TV subscription or some access to, if they cut the wires or whatever, just various things that they can do. I wanted to take that sip, but I guess I should get this going. Anyway, my stream started, of course, almost 4 minutes ago, but the broadcast starts at 12:55 Eastern Standard Time, which is in 6 minutes. And then the Free Practice 2 actually starts at 1, which is in 10 minutes. So from 1 to 2 will be Free Practice 2. Free Practice 1 was just a couple hours ago. We streamed about that too. There's a lot of flags. There's 2 or 3 yellow flags and 2 or 3 red flags. There's a lot of flags. I don't know. I've yet to come up with hopefully they'll talk about it and I can borrow their opinion, but I have yet to come up with a reason why there were so many. I don't know if it's common for Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia, which is the Australian GP Grand Prix for the last several years, or if it's not common and it's because of I don't know the tires or I don't know what it is. But anyway, so you watch. So you watch it sometimes. Do you happen to have a driver that you care about, or that you have, a favorite driver you have? So let me see what we got. 12:51. So the broadcast starts in 4 minutes. And wow, Zer. It's on ESPN2, I think is what it's going to be on. It's on NFL Live right now. And most of these shows, have some female, commentators and some male. And they certainly don't pick not attractive females for sure. But anyway, okay, so formula, I printed it. Oh, we could probably, not really a favorite. I don't know the drivers that well, but I check it out from time to time. Cool. Let me, who is your favorite driver? Well, I'm kind of media, so I'm supposed to say I love all 20 of my children the same. I, of course, have opinions about everybody, but schedule, Australia. I don't like dynasties. I don't like so let's go over the who is your favorite driver? I'll talk about them as I go through this stuff. So let me present, share screen. Boom. That didn't look right, but let me see if that's the right one. Okay, it is. Practice one. All right, so I'm going to go off screen so that y'all can see this. Oh, let me get rid of my banners. Okay, so 12:53. So it starts in 2 minutes. The broadcast, not the free practice actually starts in 7 minutes. So we should have enough time. So, okay, I'm going to bring this into full screen layout, and then I'm going to go off screen to me too. So anyway, this is free practice 1, but there was a lot of yellow flags and red flags. Anyway, Max Verstappen was the leader. He was mostly on soft tires, 118.790. He's kind of the dominator. So I'm not a big fan. I loved him a couple years ago because Lewis Hamilton was always winning. And it was like, Max might be able to catch up to him. Well, he caught up to him, and now he's dominating. So he's good, but he's kind of punky and arrogant, etc. But okay, so Max Verstappen number 1, Lewis Hamilton number 2, which is pretty good for Mercedes. Sergio Perez number 3, that's typical. Alonso 4, that's typical this year. Charles Leclerc 5, that's really good. And Carlos Sainz 6. Now last year, Charles Leclerc did the Grand Slam. He had the let's go back. I'm going to bring me back. I'm going to exit full screen. So I'll be on the screen for you, but I'm going to go off screen so I can keep reading this stuff. So David Croft in the commentary box. Okay, Formula One is coming up. Logan Sargent. Oscar. It's good they put the names. Nick DeVries, Alex Albon, Zhou Guanyu, Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly. These are great pictures. Kevin Magnussen, Valtteri Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, George Russell looking cool, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen. Wow, that's cool. They don't usually put the names. They want to assume everybody knows them. But it's like, no, you have 5 rookies. You ought to tell people who these people are. So it starts in 4 minutes. Oh, it's GPS. So, yeah, they were having GPS issues, and that was one of the yellow flags and one of the red flags. So it's 3.28 miles, full throttle is 71%, top speed 202 miles per hour, 14 turns, 2.44 meter elevation. I think I didn't hear that, but I think there's a fourth. C2, C3, C4 are the 3 tires. 2 is the hard, 3 is the medium, 4 is the soft. That looks cool. So cloudy, 60 degrees, track temperature, 78 degrees, humidity, 74%, high wind, southeast, 15.4 kilometers per hour. Sorry, don't know what that is with miles per hour. Mud, I assume you're in the United States somewhere? You do miles instead of kilometers? I do miles instead of kilometers, but they talk in kilometers. Yes, Wisconsin. Oh, cool. Have you ever been to, do you do NASCAR at all? Have you been to Elkhart Lake? That's not what it's called. Yeah, I think Elkhart Lake. It's huge, right? 4.18 miles, I think. I think it's more than 4 miles long. I've never been. I've been to a lot of NASCAR tracks, but I haven't been to that one yet. Holy moly. On Sunday, they're going to have 140,000 people. That's huge. That would be bigger than, I think Bristol Motor Speedway is the largest NASCAR ever. And I think it was 98,000. So this is 140,000. Which I heard is a record, but I think that's a record for Albert Park Australian Grand Prix. No, it never happened there. I follow mostly dirt track racing, USMTS, Lucas Oil Late Model Series, World of Outlaws, late models. Damn, cool. I'm disabled. I'm OCD amongst many things. And so I've tracked up until November, I tracked 237 different motorsport series, which would basically include all those. Tracking them, not following them per se, but I would have their schedule, and every week I would know which 40, 50, 60 series were that week. I'm not at that point at all. Ever since November, I got involved with crime sleuthing, and that kind of changed my priorities a little bit, but now I'm kind of getting back into the motorsports. Okay, let's see. It shows 1 o'clock. Oh, let me get back up to live. Let's remove that. The rain is coming in from the north. Lando Norris. Oh, he's pulling over. He did so. Oh, Lando went flying out of his pits, and he went 4 or 5 things. Let's see. But he pulled over. Why don't they talk about him pulling over? I don't see anything, and it's not working. It still shows 1 hour. Come on, live timing. Get going. I'm rebooting it. Hopefully that will help. Yellow flag. That can't be correct. Okay, 58:36. I like to see what my TV is, like how far it's behind. I don't see the time on the TV yet. I usually tweet. Hey, hello, Joe. Can you hear me? Well, I can see what you type. I can't hear you, but I can see you. Good to see you. That's pretty cool, Mud. I'm glad you do that stuff. I tried to do, it's in Florida. Volusia? I think Volusia, I was trying to do World of Outlaw, but it didn't work out. I think it was Volusia. I'm not sure. Hello. Okay, thanks. Hey, no problem. Where free practice is just starting. Let me go off screen here. Let me look at it. 57 minutes, 32 seconds, but still no time. Takes them a minute, a couple of minutes to get going. Who is going backwards? That was a Red Bull. Wow, Ferrari just flew by Red Bull. Uh-oh. Little debris, but it looked like it was just paper and stuff. But anything can. And that's a lot of debris. What are they people? Man. Anyone that litters during one of these races ought to be thrown out of the racetrack. So Sands has the fastest segment 1 and 2. That's what the purples are. Sonoto has the fastest segment 3. But I'm sure, yeah, okay. So Sands just did it. Sands just placed the first time. 120.378. Stroll just did a second. 122.628. Russell, third. Bottas, fourth. That was in the order that they produced the times. Now I'm going to stop mentioning that. So now I'll talk about in the order that they, anyway, the best time, the second best time, that kind of stuff. So currently, Sands is still the best. Alonso has the fastest of segment 3. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Verstappen has the fastest 1. Leclerc has the fastest 2. And Alonso has the fastest 3. Uh-oh. Except now Verstappen has the fastest 2. Boo. I don't like bullies. So as far as tire goes, the top 4 are medium, then hard, then medium, then 5 hard, then 1 medium, then 1 hard. And who's on the soft? Perez is on the soft. Leclerc went to the top, 120.138. These are all records, but you don't set records in practices. I think you can set them in qualifications, which is 24 hours from now. But I think it might just be the race. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, yeah, I was watching Volusia. Yeah, I went, and then I'm usually media, and I didn't do it right, and I didn't apply in the correct way, and they got snooty with me, and I got snooty with them, and so I went on my merry way. And that was during the time, I did all the Florida stuff. I did, I did Daytona, IMSA early, and then Daytona, the Rolex 24, and then I did Daytona, the 500, and then I did St. Petersburg. Anyway, and I was down there, and I was like, come on, I can add this late, but they didn't have any of it. They were saying, nope, we have a deadline and you can't just walk in. And I'm like, come on, I'm sorry, let me come in and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, Red Bull is one of them. Red Bull is one of the 10 teams, and Red Bull has 2 of the 20 drivers. So I'm going to go off stream here again. So Verstappen, number 1. So top 5 are medium tires. And then the next whatever, 7 are hard tires, 2 medium, 1 hard, 1 medium, 1 soft. Perez is still the only soft. Magnuson is medium, and I can't read the bottom 2, Sargent and Albon. The bottom 3 have no times, so only 17 have times so far. Verstappen is still number 1, 119. Sainz just went number 1. Sainz, 119.695. Verstappen, who is Red Bull. Alonso just went to the top, 118.887. 118. The record is 120 point something. That is fast. I'm going to watch my TV to see Alonso do that. So Sainz just went to the top, but let's see Alonso. Come on, Alonso. Go. Oh, man, he almost hit the wall. Come on. Poof. Alonso to the top. Woo! Miami, Florida is coming up for Formula One, and I went last year for the inaugural, and I'm starting to have dreams / nightmares about possibly not going, and I'm like, I got to go. I can't miss it. StreamYard. Oh, golly. Timer. Perez went up to 5. Okay, Alonso, number 1. Okay. Free practice 2, 51 minutes and 49 seconds left. Alonso is at top, 118.887. Then Sainz, Verstappen, Ocon, Leclerc, Perez, Hülkenberg, Norris, Bottas, Piastri, Russell, Stroll, De Vries, Hamilton, Gasly, Zhou. Tsunoda is the top 17. The bottom 3 do not have times yet. Magnussen, Albon, and Sargent. Tires, top 5 are medium, and then Perez and soft, and then 2 with hard, and then 1 medium, 1 hard, 1 medium, 4 hards, but that just changed, and then 1. Yeah, that's weird. So let's go back on to here. Let's go back here. Those are my the shorts. I don't know if you I'm starting to make some shorts, and those are my those 4 links are all clickable and they go right to the thing. But so there's YouTube, my primary channel, this one, JoeHart PwD's 8641 shorts, and then my backup is Francis Assistant. Francis is my companion animal, my cat. I'm his assistant. And then for Facebook pages, it's JoeHart PwD's Reels tab. And then for Instagram, it's the same as my Twitter, NASCAR Inc. And I would love if you could click on those and follow all those or subscribe to all those. But the shorts are pretty cool. I like my shorts. I think, I can get wordy. I can stream for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 9 hours, so anyway, shorts have to be 60 seconds or less. So it works for me. It's nice. Why are they talking about this stuff? So 2023 driver standings, we might go over that. 2023 constructor standings. So Albert Park Circuit, the one they're on right now, is in Melbourne, Australia. First time the Grand Prix was there was 1996. Number of laps is 58. Current length is 5.278 kilometers, which I think it's we said it earlier, 3 point something. Race distance, 306.124 kilometers. Lap record, 120.260. 120.260. So let's look at what we're saying. 260 is 10th place. So the top 9 drivers of Free Practice 2, that's not even qualifying, but the top 9 drivers have beat the record. That's I don't know why the record is not as fast as it should probably be. Sans just had a radio. I didn't hear what it said. Blue. Another blue. Man, they're blue happy. Blue flag happy. Sounds like the GPS may be rearing its ugly head again as a problem. A couple of drivers ended up being pretty close to each other. There could be other reasons that's true, but Sergio Perez, Red Bull Racing. Ah, fuck's sake, man. Traffic is horrendous. Yeah, I don't know what he was up to. He said A-H, and then he said the F word, and then sake. That doesn't even, English isn't his first language, so it doesn't even sound right. I think it's important to be able to cuss right. Why not? So, Free Practice 2, 46 minutes and 29 seconds left. Alonso, number 1, 118.887. Leclerc, second, plus 0.445 seconds, almost a half a second. Verstappen, plus 0.615. Russell, plus 0.785. Sainz, Ocon, Perez, Norris, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas, Hamilton, Piastri, Zhou, Stroll, De Vries, Albon is 18, and then Magnussen and Sargent do not have times. 18 have times, 2 do not have times. Top 3 are medium tires, then hard, then an unmarked. What is Sans? Why is it unmarked? On here, Sans is medium. So 3 medium, 1 hard, 2 medium, soft, 4 hard, 1 medium, 1 hard, 2 medium, 2 hard, 1 soft, 2 no time. Magnussen is out on a lap. 190 miles per hour. Come on. Wow. Albert Pool Park looks great. If only I had like several $1,000s that I could just go over there, or many. I'm here. Sorry I'm late. Well, no problem. Hey, Bee Survivor. I'm glad you made it. I didn't, golly, I didn't even expect it. I know you're talking about it, so, I didn't think you wouldn't, but I'm just happy you're here. So thank you for being here. For your person that's gonna, can you refresh my memory? What's your quote again? That he's gonna, I said annihilate, but you said something else. Anyway, he's third right now, which doesn't mean anything, but it's still 44 seconds. He's on a medium tire. He started, Max Verstappen started this session on a medium tire. Let me look if he's changed. the last session, he changed from soft to soft. Let's see if he changed here. No, he's done 7 laps, and these tires have 6 laps on them. So yeah, he's only have 1 set so far. Alonso's on soft, but his softs have 0 laps. I don't know what he was on. I think he was on medium. Yeah, the TV still says medium. So Alonso just switched from medium to soft, so I guess he's going to go faster. But he is the fastest right now, 118.887. Leclerc, Verstappen, number 3. Just went to a commercial. So there's a ton of mixtures of tires. So soft. Let's see, 4. I see 7 softs, medium, 2, 3, 4 mediums, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 hards, and then 2 I don't see. So that's a wide range of variance on the time. Happy to be here. Sweet. Stomp them. Stomp them all. Anyway, I don't think I finished the story. You know, one of my previous streams, I said, you know, I'm assuming, I know no specifics about how some drivers like circuits or not, or, I was just neutrally, Red Bull's the strongest and Max is the strongest, and he's upset, so he's going to kick us. And I was like, I'm going to try to look this up. And, you and a couple others were like, hey, that's a pretty good idea to find out, that kind of stuff. And of course, I can't find the answer yet. But during at the beginning of race weekends, they have press conferences. So they talk to all 20 drivers, and then they talk to 4 team principals. So out of 10 teams, they only talk to 4 of them, which I think is dumb. I think they ought to do all 10, 5 and 5, 2 sets of 5 and 5. They're all paid enough money. They can spend enough time to, all of them, the interviewees and the interviewers, and everybody makes enough time. They ought to interview. They make enough money. They can talk to everybody. That was what's his name? I'm so wasted. No, what's that guy? The Matrix. He was, the super cool actor that everybody loves. He was just on the Formula One commercial, which he's been at. I think he was at Miami when I was at Miami. I was vaguely near where he was, but not, I didn't have the access he had. But he's such a cool guy. I bet that answer will be in many different places to figure everyone's favorite. Yeah, I think you're right. I started like focusing on just one track. I was like, okay, for this week, I want to know about Albert Park. I want to know about Melbourne. So I drilled down on that, and I still couldn't figure it out. But yeah, I think you're right. I think one paragraph will say, Max doesn't like. Anyway. These press conferences are so unavailable, and I love them. I love press conferences. So I only saw 5. I only listened. I was making food, and I was doing dishes. So I listened to 5 of them talk for 13 minutes. And I would listen for hours. I'd love to hear everybody. But anyway, I forget the exact question, but the main interviewer, who's been doing it for years, and he knows everything. He knows so much. But he said, so Max, as we know, since 2019, and then I'm going to probably butcher it, but I think he said, I'm not sure, unless maybe you find a blog or something of someone who's super in the know. That would be cool. And, I know a fair amount about NASCAR, so there could be someone that knows a fair amount about, plus it's only 20 drivers. It's only 20 drivers, and it's only 23 tracks. NASCAR has 40 drivers and 23 tracks, but many of them you go twice, so it's 36 races. So, yeah, it's I think you're right that, it's 20 track. Man, what is this? Debris flew out of the window. The flagmen stick their head out of the window, so they're kind of on the track and kind of not. Well, debris flew out of one of those windows. They're not supposed to fly. They're supposed to fly from the track off the track, but this flew from off the track onto the track. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, that's the way I think. I mean, for sure it is. Although I bet, I mean, I guess NASCAR kind of does this, but I think, like I saw specs for drivers winning at tracks, and I don't care about winning. I care about first place through 20th place. I want all the places. I want average start and average finish. I want average finish. That's what I want. So I don't care about win. I don't care about podium, which is top 3, that kind of stuff. I want an average finish. That's what I want. Anyway, this interview, he said, and I'm going to butcher it, but he said, Max, since you haven't had a podium since 2019, which I think is what he said, that's in 4 years. Max hasn't been top 3. And, so he said, so how are you going to, and Max had a great idea. He said, so B Survivor, I'll try and help you figure that out. Not this very moment, but I shall put my research skills to work. Well, thanks, B Survivor. I appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, we'll come up with it, but, also Formula One kind of, I finally did all the weeks between because I hated talking about them, but I don't have it in front of me right now. But, I did them, but I didn't count them. Anyway, after this weekend, China canceled. Of course, China canceled, or China was canceled. So after this weekend, the next race is in 4 weeks. So, we have oodles of time to kind of put it together. Might take me 5 years. Just kidding. Hey, we got 4 weeks. That's just like 5 years. So, and who is it? And it really can be one track at a time, because I want to, and now I will reiterate what I've said about Google. I firmly believe every question can be answered on Google. You just have to know how to ask the question. So I'm not putting in the question correctly. It's coming up with wins and podiums, and just for some of the tracks and just for some of the drivers. And, and then the worst is you get drivers that have been out for 5 years. It's like, who cares about the ones that are no longer, so, but I firmly believe I'm just not asking the question correctly. I think Google works. I think it's, algorithm. Google's the best. So it would find it. On this date in 1996, Damon Hill won the Brazilian Grand Prix ahead of, who cares? Gene Alesi and Michael Schumacher. Who cares? Why do they put things like that? I totally agree. We will find out. Thanks, man. Thanks, B. Okay, so what do we got here? Let me figure out the time difference. So 34. I'm going to wait until 40. 40, and it's 05. So 25 seconds. My TV is off by 25 seconds. So with free practice 2, 34 minutes and 29 seconds left, Alonso is still number 1, 118.887, small, soft tire. Leclerc, second, Verstappen, Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Perez, Norris, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas, Hamilton, Piastri. Sainz just went up there somewhere. Something changed with Sainz and Russell. I don't know what happened, but they lit up. Hulkenberg, Gasly, Sonoda, Bottas, Hamilton, Piastri, Zhou, Stroll, De Vries, Albon, Magnussen is 19. Number 20, Sargent, no time. I don't know what's going on with Sargent. Oh, Sargent is who flew across the no, he didn't. No. Sonoda flew across the. Logan just petered out, and his engine sounded like a diesel engine. I don't know anything about cars, but it was loud and clunky, and I know diesel engines are very loud. Russell radio. They're not going to tell us what he says. We don't hear him. We never understand them. They usually type out what they say, but when they don't type it out, they shouldn't even play it for us because we can't hear what's on the radio. Hey, are you watching it? Are you on ESPN2? Everybody out there, are you watching ESPN2? Track dominance. Alonso's dominating everywhere, and Leclerc has these two little dominants. I don't know what that means. Excuse me. Russell, the driver, is talking about rain. The drivers shouldn't know anything about rain. The engineers ought to be telling the drivers stuff. Oh, there's raindrops on the camera. Shit. My brother has the TV right now. I think he's watching a movie. Oh. Cool. Okay. So I was just going to say, when I talked about the timing, let me go off screen again. Free practice, 31 minutes and 24 seconds left. I was like, hey, no flags yet. But this rain, there's so many things in life that really bothers me. People are so superstitious, like motorsports people, everybody, fans, and everybody is like, you can't talk about the R word, RAIN. You can't talk about it. But, why don't they they ought to be telling us about it. Is it about to rain? Is it not going to rain? NASCAR shows the radar. So we see the radar and it shows it, the last 30 minutes, this is what it did. And, so you can make your own guesses. But they act like they can't talk about it. But then we see dots. There's some more dots. The camera has rain on the camera. Now, fans will sit through anything. So I don't see any. It's a commercial anyway. But I know. What about your brother? Yeah. Well, commercials are interesting. So anyway, okay. So let's go off. I want to know about rain. Are we coming to the end here? What are greens? Oh, OMG. Russell has intermediates on. Of course it's raining. Ocon has intermediates on. Of course it's raining. You cannot put an intermediate or wet. There's intermediate, which is in between, or wet, which is completely for wet. But you can't put either one of them on unless there's water on the track, because they will melt and mold and they'll fall apart. And I mean, and there's a third intermediate. Oh my goodness. So I guess the intermediate is bad news and good news. It's bad news because it's telling us that it's raining, but it's good news because that they're putting them on and they hopefully keep driving. You know, NASCAR theoretically has rain tires for certain situations, which really means almost never. But Formula One does have rain tires, intermediates and wets. And let me look. Golly, I think that was 3 people with intermediates. 1, 2, 3. Still 3 people. Oh, I want to see the TV. See if they're all pit. The ones that don't have intermediates on, they're probably still in the garage. 1 lap 7, 1 lap 9, 6 lap 7, 0 laps 10, 0 laps 12, 0 laps 9, 0 laps 10 for the intermediate. So all 4 intermediates have 0 laps, which makes sense. They're just starting off. Some commercials are pretty cute. I can get pulled into them. Okay, let me get back off the screen. Sorry. All right. Oh, I need the TV. So intermediate tires need almost the perfect amount of rain, and the wets need almost a perfect amount of rain. And I think if they get that perfect, Nico Hülkenberg has no tires on. Where's Hülkenberg? Shows him his heart. He has no tires on. None. They're not running around. They're not doing anything. Andrew Westacott, the CEO of Australian GP. So Gasly is the only one not parked or in the. So yeah, it says Gasly is out lap. Gas is on intermediate and he's on an out lap. Intermediate curtain tire. But you really can't. You must drive from puddle to puddle because otherwise your tire falls apart. Ooh, a couple of birds right next to the track. Car almost hit him. Wow, is that it? He's already pulling into the. I guess we missed that. Oh my goodness. So all 20 cars are parked, are in the pits, are in all 20 of them. And the time's going 25:16, 25. Well, that's 24:48, 24:47. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still 4 people on intermediates. So the others haven't changed to intermediate. Are wets. Uh-oh. Max Verstappen has intermediates on. It hasn't been changed on the computer yet. There he goes. Max Verstappen's going out in intermediate. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, so 2, 4, 5. He's the only addition. I'm a little turned around. I thought he took a left instead of a right. Looks like he went in the opposite direction, but you can't do that. You only have only one way to go. Oh my goodness. So I think it's almost impossible. Anyway, these are real tricky things. The intermediate and what? I don't totally understand it. But I think if you use them perfectly, like, like the intermediates, it's got to be a light mist to a light rain, and that's it. And then the wets are from a light rain to a steady rain. I mean, there's small, perfect times. And I think if the tires are under their most perfect condition, the cars can go almost as fast as the other tires. But it's hard getting that most perfect. I don't see the track. The track doesn't look wet to me. It's darker. I mean, of course, it has some liquid on it. But they physically have to find puddles. Okay, that's a steady rain. They are now showing on the camera a steady rain. I would say I would describe it as steady rain. I was almost going to say light steady rain, but it's not a heavy steady rain. Just a light, a little more than a light, maybe. So Max went out. What did Max do? Let's see if he came back out yet. Max had 3 yellows, and he just finished, so I don't know what those were. So there's a bunch, and his is a question mark. So 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 with intermediates. Leclerc is on an outlap. Sands is on an outlap. Both Ferraris. They're both on intermediates. So the top Alonso is on softs. The next 6 are intermediates. Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Perez. That's 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. 9 intermediates. Still 21 minutes. This is torture. Whoa, that's cool camera work. Yeah, Carlos Sainz's tire is getting perfectly wet. As he is too. These are open pit cars, so they are getting rained upon. Like they don't have a roof. They're probably traveling so fast that they're not really getting rained upon, but two, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, 13 in the pits. So that means 7 are not. 7 are out. So they are showing the radar. Huge right over the track. Wow. I can't tell how long that would be, but it looks like quite a few minutes. I can't tell if any times are changing. I'm sure yellow and white, everybody's got yellow and white. So I'm sure those are less than stellar. Verstappen is still a question mark and then a green again. I'm sorry, green is intermediate. Wet is blue. We have a super close up to someone's steering wheel. Second gear, third gear, fourth gear. That's a really cool steering wheel. It seems like that would be proprietary. I don't know what they're showing us, but that's a Piastri. That's McLaren. That's a lot of information that we're looking at there. So top 10 are intermediate except the top one, Alonso. So 9, 11, 13, still 13. So 2, 5, 9, 11, 12. 12 in the pits, so that means 8 are on the track. The people out on the track is Verstappen, Perez, Norris, Hülkenberg, Piastri, Stroll, Albon, and Magnussen. People in the pits are the top 2. Alonso and Leclerc are 1 and 2, and they're both in the pits. Verstappen is out. He's 3rd. What the hell? What's he doing? Just a regular steady. Yeah, just a regular steady. Oh, my goodness. Lance Stroll. Okay, his looks like a heavy steady. Oh, my goodness. He went diagonally. He went, 90 degrees. He went across the track. He slid so much he was going across the track instead of down it. Okay, just a regular steady, eh? I think my computer is freezing or something. Getting pretty wet out there for sure. You watching it, Mud? Are you on ESPN2? Woo, that is some wet. 17 minutes left. You are watching. Okay, cool. Getting pretty wet out there. Umbrella. Joe, you gonna go to Vegas for the Formula One race? I originally thought I would. Yes, I'm watching. Good. I originally thought I was gonna go, but 2022 was a pretty rough year, and I probably need to not go to so many races. I went to Miami's. Oh, I'm sorry, B Survivor. Did you know about Mud? Mud is over in Twitch. Mud 1M. Yes, I'm watching. Hello, Mud. So yeah, Mud, your comments aren't shown unless I highlight them. So, and that's true with most of the platforms, but definitely Twitch. So, anyway, I'm as I usually introduce myself, I'm JoeHart. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. And hello, Mud, and hi, B Survivor. 2 V's, Survivor. I thought it was server also. B server, but it's B Survivor. 2 V's, Survivor. Anyway, I'm disabled. I'm on a fixed income. I have no money. The cheapest tickets to Las Vegas, I do believe, to go to Pit Road, it's $30,000. I mean, I don't, and it's sold out. They put, anyway, I was really lucky to go to the Miami race, and I usually have opportunities to go to these races that most people don't have. And I'm not going to say I'm not going, but I really need to stop doing what I'm doing at these races. I really need to just stay at home and not go to these races the way I go to them. But I did go to Miami. That's in a couple weeks. I am going to be flipping out. If I am not in Miami for that race, which there's no way I'm going to be, but if I'm not in Miami for that race, I will be going off the chains for that whole week. What race will you go to next? I think I'm trying not to go to any. 2022 was tough. I got in some trouble, and it was tough. It was tough. It was I went to about 22 to 24 races last year. Everything, Formula E, Formula One, and not NHRA, IMSA, IndyCar, NASCAR. You know, I went to all of them. But I usually always go to Bristol. I do tend to think the SMI tracks, you know, the Speedway Motorsports Incorporated tracks, the Bruton Smith and Marcus Smith, I tend to think of them as exceptions so I can go, as opposed to the NASCAR Incorporated tracks, the other ones. And Bristol is a SMI track. So if I were to go to a race, anyway, I can't. I don't have the money. And anyway, oddly enough, the only reason I'd want to go to the Las Vegas one is just so I'm able to go, you know, so that I would go, yeah, I went to the inaugural race there, which I did to the Miami one, but the Miami one, I really wanted to go. And that was the most intense experience, Miami, and it was so incredible. And I'm going to be, I won't be able to handle not being there. And it's coming up soon. You know, I mean, it's like in 5 weeks. And I don't know what I'll do if I'm not there. I don't know what I'll do if I am there, but I don't know what I'll do if I'm not there. And I've wanted to go to COTA, Circuit of the Americas, for Formula One since it began 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. So of races that I want to go to, COTA, Circuit of the Americas, would be my number 2 choice. Miami number 1, COTA number 2, or they could be switched. COTA could be number 1, and Las Vegas would be 3rd. But sorry, Gurur, I am returned. Welcome back, Gurur. Thanks for coming back. It's got 12 minutes left. It's raining. They're on intermediate tires. It's so much. It's so much. Hi, Gurur. Do you know that? Do you know what? Probably. Do you know that I was about worried about pain? I hope words will make me feel better. I hope you feel better, Gurur. Thanks for being here. Hope things get better. Hamilton's going 176 miles per hour. Lot of rain. They got the rooster tails. So Mud is watching this. So I'm sure you see the rooster tails. B, I wish you were watching the... I see there is a couple with soft tires. Oh, my goodness, really? Okay, yeah, let me get back onto the... According to this chart, it says on the TV, it says Perez and Albon are on soft, but on my on this, Perez is intermediate and Albon is hard. No, Albon is the intermediate. So according to this, which is the live timing leaderboard from Formula One, which I think is more reliable than the TV, they're all intermediate, but De Vries, which is hard, and they just took it off the TV screen, but I bet De Vries is in the pits. Man, that camera is wet. You know, Formula One has billions of dollars, and their cameras are not... NASCAR's cameras are better. That when they get tired, it's like saran wrap. So when they get wet, it just stretches, it moves. Okay, so De Vries. Yeah, De Vries is in the garage. So his hard tires are not really hard tires. But I think those two were dated. But thanks for pointing it out to me, Mud. I was getting a little off topic there. Yes, I hope you're feeling better. Grr, I hope you get better. Yes, hopefully that hospital is helping you. Laps completed, 10, 15, 12, 16, 13, 9, 10, 14. I don't know what those have anything to do with anything. Yeah, soft tires would be crazy. When they mud, if they were on. Okay, so there's a lot going about. Hey, Joe, what is an intermediate tire? Intermediate is it's for light rain right now. Intermediate has treads, so it's not a slick, but it's not like the wets. The wets are incredible. I would get the stats and I'm like, OMG, but the wets are, it's outrageous what the, the wets can clear, like 5 gallons of water per tire every second, or it's just extreme what it can do, or displace that much. And the intermediates are about a third of that. So it's for the light rain. No one has changed to wets yet. So I guess the rain we see now, that's about the rain for intermediates. I would guess wets would come pretty soon. I mean, they only have 8 more minutes, so they're probably going to continue working on intermediate. But it's just an intermediate between slicks and non-slicks, slicks and wets. That's what it is, intermediate. Oh yeah, it's absurd. Whenever you see those, I'll have to print up those, but it's outrageous. Yeah, it's getting pretty slippery out there. Yeah, and I would, as a non-informed person, I would say this is about when they put wet tires on. But as I look at the table, none of them are on wets yet. So I don't know. I mean, they're pit. Okay, let's see. There's 3, 7, 8, 10. There's 11 people in the pits right now. So that's a lot. There's only 9 people on the track. So if everybody was on the track, I bet 1 or 2 would be on wets. But they're really hard. Like I was saying earlier, the intermediates and the wets require an exact amount of water. Like you must drive from puddle to puddle if there's not enough water. You have to get an exact amount of water for them to work and not fall apart. They'll overheat, they'll melt, they'll marble up. It's got to be so precise what they get. And with wets, I don't see huge puddles. Wets, you would need absolute puddles like every 10 feet. You would have to drive from puddle to puddle to puddle to puddle. It's definitely wet. But yeah, now Perez shows as soft again. That's got to be wrong. Perez here shows as intermediate. I don't know why that does on TV. That's got to be wrong. Although Perez is pit, so he's in the garage. So it may just not be reset yet. Like Hulkenberg, I saw in the garage, and he had no tires on, but they just hadn't reset it yet. So probably everybody that's in the garage has no tires on, and they're deciding what to put on them. Unless they know they're going to keep the ones that were on there. Okay, so what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 people in the pits. So 8 people on the track. People on the track are Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Bottas, Piastri, Zhou, Albon, and Magnussen. So what do we got? 5 minutes and 4 seconds left. It is now just under 5 minutes, 4:59. Less than 5 minutes. Woohoo! So I doubt if anybody has improved their time. So the positions probably are going to remain what they are now, which I've read this a couple times, but I'll read it again just in case. There have been some changes, but probably not. So free practice 2, there's 4 minutes and 8 seconds left to go. Alonso's still on top, 118.887. Then Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Perez, Norris, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas, Hamilton, Piastri, Zhou, Stroll, De Vries, Albon, Magnussen, and Sargent. Sargent still does not show any time. And I think I got him confused with Tsunoda flew across the gravel, but Sargent's car clunked out on something, and I don't think he ever came out the whole time. All of free practice 2, he did not come out. So that's a bummer. Logan Sargent's the American driver, the only American driver. First one in like 30 years, or not that, 15 years or something. So the TV says 3:42 left, so that probably means about 3:20 in my here on the computer. Medium, medium, medium. Now those have to be right. Are those right? I have no. Okay, all the cars show tires except for one, and all of them show either soft, medium, or hard, which has got to be wrong. Let's see if the hard is even right. De Vries is hard. So that one is right. The rest is intermediate. Like Verstappen, Russell, Norris, Tsunoda, Bottas, Piastri, Zhou, and Albon are all out on the track, and their tire does not reflect intermediate on the TV. And on this chart, which is from Formula1.com, they're all intermediates. And I mean, we see the green tires. Green is intermediate. And we see the rooster tails, which means intermediate. Mini rooster tails. There seems to be less water. There's not those huge rooster tails that we were seeing. One minute, 42 seconds left. And as always, that's when they can get the green flag. That's when they can get the checkered flag. So when you get the checkered flag, when it hits 0 seconds, that's the checkered flag. And when you get the checkered flag, you can finish the lap you're on. And so people like to plan it to time it just perfectly so that they cross the start finish at 2 seconds left, and then they can do an entire lap. But if you time it the other way, if you cross the lap 2 seconds after, if you cross the line after they wave the green flag, that is when you end your practice, is right then. So I explained that so long. It's already 0. Oh, no, it's not. 46 seconds left. And then once we hit 0, then the TV starts putting miniature checkered flags next to each name, so that we'll know of the 20 who are still up on the track finishing their last lap. And they're usually good at doing that all the time. Russell seems to be going fast. He's currently 4th. "12 seconds. Oh. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Checkered flag. And now they get to finish the lap they're on. But on TV, it's at 16 seconds now, which will show the checkered flag. So I guess we go by that time mainly. Hamilton is question mark. Hamilton on there shows hard. 1, 0. Boom. Oh, come on. He did not make that. Someone left pit road when it hit 0, and he seemed to be after the light. Okay, so checkered flags. We already have 3. And they just took it off the screen. Why do they do that? George Russell seems to be the... Oh, come on. Well, there's these two ducks that seem to like a certain part of the track. I bet their family is there. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 checkered flags. Allo, Russell, Norris, Sonoda, Joe, Stroh, and Albin are the checkered flags. The rest are still finishing up. Now they're showing Alonso on the screen driving, but he has a checkered flag. So there must be a little confusion there. I don't know what that means. That's strange. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's pretty late. So I think I'm going to end this pretty soon after the end here. Damn. Damn, Fernando seems to be doing. Uh-oh, what's that? Virtual safety car. I don't know what that is. Yellow flag. Sector 3. Virtual safety car. What is it about? I don't know what it is yet. Sorry. So checkered flags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 checkered flags. The people without a checkered flag is Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Ocon, De Vries, and Sargent. And they're testing restarts. So this virtual safety car must be, about GPSs or just testing or something. I'm thinking they're not synchronized. Practice 2 results. Fernando Alonso, number 1. Charles Leclerc, 2nd. Max Verstappen, 3rd. But Max must have been testing something. George Russell, Mercedes. Carlos Sainz, Ferrari. Esteban Ocon, Alpine. Sergio Perez, Red Bull. Lando Norris, McLaren, 8th. That's good for him to finally show up. 9th, Nico Hülkenberg. Haas, 10. Pierre Gasly, Alpine. That's top 10. 11, Sonoda, AlphaTauri, Bottas, Alfa Romeo, Hamilton, Mercedes, Piastri, McLaren, 14. That's not bad. Joe, Alfa Romeo, Lance Stroh, Aston Martin. That's not good. Nick De Vries, AlphaTauri, Alex Albon, Williams, Kevin Magnussen, Haas, and Sargent Williams. Oh, no. Around the horn. Anyway. Okay, so they switch out of these channels quickly. No hesitation. So let's see here. I'm just turning this off. All right. So, Mud, thank you. B, thank you. Thank you. B. And Mud. Yep. Who else? Ace. Take care, Mud. You too. Let me just, I was just everyone. Thanks, Mud. It was good having someone that, see you later. It was good to have someone, you know, that knows about mud racing and dirt track racing. Thank you, B and Mud One and Ace and everyone. See you later. What the heck happened there? B Survivor. All right, Joe, I'm fading over here. I'm going to say goodnight, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good night, chat. Thanks for being here for B. This is loyalty for sure. This is a late thing. Tomorrow's the same thing. 9:45, 12:15, 12:45, whatever the two are. 9:15, 12:45. So thank you. That's so loyal. And then Mud, take care, Joe. Thanks, Mud. You too. So B and Mud, thank you so much. I'll swing through next race. Well, sounds good. The free practice 3 is 9:15 tomorrow. Qualifying is 12:45 tomorrow night, or 24 hours from now. And then the race is kind of like 48 hours from now, somewhere around there. But they're all scheduled already. So they're all, anyway. Whatever you can make, that'd be great. Thanks, Mud. All right, so I'm going to head out. Let's see here. Stop the screen there. So I'm going to okay, I'm going to hit end broadcast twice. And then I'm going to check my 8 streams, and the comments can keep going. And then when I'm through with that in about 5 minutes or 7 minutes, then I'll come back and hit leave studio. But until then, the comments can keep going. So again, thank you, Mud. Thank you, B. Thank you, Ace. A-Y-S-E. I never asked you how to pronounce your name, but I think it's Ace. Aisi. Okay. So end broadcast in 3, 2, 1. Boom. And then I got to hit it again. So end broadcast in 3, 2,